Hello, my name is Sandra, and today I'm going to be giving my speech on persuading everyone to believe that Boise, Idaho is one of America's most haunted cities. Boise, Idaho is known to several different historical locations that have seen several paranormal activities throughout the decades. My first location, the story was published in the Idaho Statesman in 1973 by the reporter Ken Barrows. The title to his article, A Ghost Inside a Boise Home, which then was republished into the book Haunted America by Michael Norm and Beth Scott. The house was located on 200 East Idaho Street in Boise, Idaho. It was built in the late 1800s by the late grandfather of Frank Church, who was a U.S. Senator. Frank Church had a 5-year-old son that died a tragic death inside the home when he found turpentine in the garage and drank it. In 1953, the home was repurchased by new owners who wanted to use the house as rental property. Now, the owners had a hard time keeping a tenant longer than a month due to paranormal experiences, until 1970, when they came across a woman named Sharon and her 3 children. Sharon goes on to tell a reporter about the several different paranormal experiences she had throughout the 3 years that she lived there. Anywhere from her oldest son sleeping in the attic, waking up screaming, saying someone was choking him, to being outside with her youngest 3-year-old son, pointing to the window saying, "Look, Mommy, there's a little boy there," who then led her up to the attic stairwell and pointed, "Mommy, this is where the little boy died." In March 1973, Sharon came across a gentleman who asked her if she had room available to rent. Sharon informed the gentleman that there was no rooms available. He proceeded to ask about the attic. She informed the gentleman that the attic was home to a ghost spirit. The gentleman laughed at her and said he didn't believe in that paranormal activity and that he only needed a room for a couple nights. Sharon gave in and let him stay. The first night the gentleman stayed inside the attic, he describes his feelings as uneasy and uncomfortable, so he left the light on. The second night, the gentleman woke up engulfed in flames. The only way out was to jump through the window. He did jump through the window, and it did put him in the hospital. When Sharon and her friends went back to the house to salvage what they could, one of her friends that always laughed and made fun of her for believing in paranormal activities offered to clean the basement. As he was walking up the basement steps, he screamed out for help because the step broke and he fell backwards. When they came to his rescue, they told him that there was no broken steps. Excuse me. In March, that same month, in March 15, 1973, the house was bulldozed over, never rebuilt. Are you convinced yet? If not, this next statement that I'd like to show you guys is from Ghost Adventures, which is a series that plays on the Travel Network. This is a clip from YouTube. It's only a 30-second clip. At my end of my speech, I'll give you more directions on where you could go to watch the whole series or just this one individually.
Even if they're evil spirits or not, they participated.
We repeated this process several times, and after analyzing the footage frame by frame, we found that we had caught this chilling image. On the left-hand side of the screen, we see a dark silhouette of a man wearing a hood.
They put a hood over his head, they put the rope around his neck, and then they pulled that lever right there.
Could this be the face of Raymond Snowden?
Now, Raymond Allen Snowden was known as Idaho's Jack the Ripper. He was sentenced to be hung on October 18, 1957. Now, when they hung inmates at the old Idaho State Penitentiary, they would tie them to a board where they could not move their hands or legs. Then they would put a black cloth over their head and put the noose. They would have them stand on a trap door and pull the lever. The trap door would give out and they were supposed to fall several feet. Now, the fall is supposed to break the inmate's neck on impact. In Raymond's case, his neck did not snap. Instead, he hung there for 15 minutes until he finally suffocated. Now, Raymond was convicted of the murder of Cora Dean, who was a single mother of 2. They went out on a date. The date didn't go well. Cora decided to walk home, he met her in an alley. He took a 2-inch blade pocket knife, slit her throat, stabbed her in the back of the skull, severing her spinal cord, and repeated to stab her 35 times after that. He left her body in the alley for the police to find. Raymond also confessed to murdering 2 other women while on death row. Now, the old Idaho State Penitentiary is giving night tours in the month of November. I was fortunate enough to go on November 1st. If you're looking for paranormal activity or to have chills and thrills and learn a little bit of history, I definitely recommend going. Make sure you bring coats and flashlights. It's $10 per person. Any more information on Raymond Allen Snowden can be found at Idaho Penitentiary through Google, as well as Ghost Adventures and them witnessing several different paranormal experiences on tape and on audio can be seen on YouTube. Just type in the old Idaho State Penitentiary. They have the full episode. They also have the 2-minute clip that we just saw. I hope you enjoyed my speech, and I hope you all are a believer of the paranormal. Have a great day.